Hey guys, what's going on? It's Gothman, and I am here just to show you my Ring of Sauron, or my Finger of Sauron prop that I made while I'm taking a break for some Evil Dead stuff. I haven't been on YouTube as much because I have been doing all my Evil Dead videos on Ash versus the Evil Dead Knights of Samaria page that I am an administrator on, and we've been putting all our stuff there. So I thought I'd take a few minutes and clear my head and do something different and show you guys what I did. So this is the Finger of Sauron, if you will. It's completely DIY, done at home. So, what we're really looking at here is externally, you're pretty much just seeing EVA foam and resin. That's the only things you're really looking at. Everything else underneath it is there's some electrical tape for bulk, there's PVC, and this tip was just a resin casting of the end of an Aquaman trident. So, let's go over a little bit of the ins and outs. First of all, this is about 6 inches long. The one that Master Replicas made is about 7, so it's a little smaller than the one you'll see there. Also, the nubs are not quite as accurate as I would have hoped, but good enough looking. So, if we look at the back, you can see it's got the cutaway. What I did was I folded up some EVA and burned it with heating gun, and it gives it this really nice texture that I like a lot. And then to simulate the acid etching, heat sealed foam, and then just the filigree on it, or the acid etching on top of it, is just puff paint, which I sanded down a little bit. I actually hit it with a heat gun to get it to bubble and then flatten a little bit, which kind of gives it like a metalish texture to it. And so that was all hit with graphite powder, and then coated in pearlized black airbrush paint. But I put the airbrush, I brushed it on so that it's nice and thick, so it's not airbrushed on. Then the pieces on top were literally just heat gunned, warmed up, molded pieces of whatever, EVA foam. These little guys are just fasteners that I put in before I applied it, and I glued it all on. This piece here, like I said, was the tip of a trident, and then I attached it to the PVC with JB Weld, sanded that down, and then I filled the hole of the PVC with JB Weld, and I drilled a hole in this and put a little piece of metal bar in between the two to kind of hold it in place. The ring is really easy. It's just a simple handbag ring. It's just a placeholder right now. I'm talking to somebody about possibly doing a 3D print of a proper sized ring, but it's just if it was a size, my guess would be it was a size 16 or 17 ring based on the size of this, but because it's EVA foam, it's a little spongy, I can slip a ring onto it and it'll be snug, but this will display really nice. So if you just leave it down, it looks really good. It'll sit on a tray, kind of like the Master Replicas one, and it looks really good. Now, I built it in such a way, if you look at it, it's not 100% like, it's curved, right? So it's straight up. Why is it curved? Because I planned on it sitting on its side, and I wanted it to raise up and elevate some of the detail. So instead of the detail being completely flat, it kind of creates an arc curve. So if you were to look at this dead on, it's not going to look straight like a finger. It's going to sit well and display well, which I did on purpose. So this is a really easy build, to be honest with you, as long as you've casted your tip, or you could use the tip of a bottle rocket or one of those model rockets. That would work just fine, just the same. This is a one-day build. It's not that complicated. The only thing that might take long, if you wanted it to, is if you actually are going to mold the thing and make replicas in excess for it. But all in all, I do not think I'm going to mold this particular one. I may take another crack at this and do another one and mold that to get it look more like the Master Replica one, but that is 100% dependent upon whether or not I can get the ring looking right, because if I can't get a decent enough ring to put on it, there's really no point in buying the finger. So, yeah, so this works out really well. I'm pretty happy with it, and it's a nice prop to add to the collection. Nice, it'll make a nice display piece. The next step will be get a base to put this on, glue some gravel to it, paint that gravel in a very similar series of blacks, grays, and silvers and stuff to kind of give it that obsidian look, and just have it sit on that, much like the Master Replica one. So yeah, really happy, and keep building.